I don't think you should wait for rates to drop. I think you should. Let's talk about a little bit about the market. Let's talk about rates, talk about strategy, talk about the same questions I get asked like all the time. Should you wait for rates to drop? No, you should not wait for rates to drop because nobody can time the market perfectly. And I joke around about this, but like if you knew when rates were going to drop, you wouldn't need a lender. You would have already owned the market because you made a gazillion dollars because you could predict market movement. Nobody knows. Even your best economist, nobody knows. And in fact, we got the highest rates that we had now than we've had probably in the last couple of years because we're doing stuff over in the Middle East. I don't think you should wait for rates to drop. I think you should take advantage of opportunities when they're in front of you. And so if you think the time is right, time is right. If you think the time is not, then it's not. I think the feeling of being ready is an illusion. There is no feeling. You need to just make the decision. Do I want to be a homeowner? And being a homeowner is not a get rich quick scheme. It's a get rich over time. So you have to be in the market in order to generate wealth. It's time in the market. So the faster and sooner you become a homeowner, the faster and sooner you start creating generational wealth for you, right? So it's just a matter of choosing when the right time is for you. Now a good time to buy in Texas. I would say, yeah, I think now is a good time to buy in Texas, specifically because rates are still elevated a little bit and there's not as many buyers out there, and sellers are willing to help you purchase their home. And what I mean by that is that they're going to give you seller contributions. We're in a market to where the buyer, I think, has the upper hand or the negotiating power where they can dictate timelines, when they plan on closing. They can dictate the price that they want to pay. They can dictate repairs that they may want to have done to the home. And more importantly, they can dictate, their out-of-pocket costs. It's not unusual for a seller to give this future home buyer 3, 4, 5%, sometimes 6% of the sales price in the form of seller contributions, not only to pay all of your closing costs, but also drive that interest rate lower. So if today's interest rates are 6.5% and you think that that's just obscene and you can't afford that, you could buy the rate down to 6 or 5.5 or 5, and you could use seller contributions in order to help you do that. Just keep in mind your interest rate is not that big of a movement in your payment. What higher rates actually mean for buyers. We kind of just discussed this a little bit, but higher rates just mean less competition. I think higher rates is not bad for a home buyer because there's going to be fewer home buyers out there. It's going to stop people because a lot of other people, they want to wait. I want to wait until rates get better. And so they made the decision that they're going to park it and they're not going to actually be a homeowner. If you're one of those people that can see an opportunity, I think higher rates isn't necessarily a bad thing. It might be a good thing for you because it's going to give you more negotiation with the seller. Why are buyers winning in a market right now? I think we talked about it. Buyers are winning because they're able to get pretty much everything the way that they want it. Now there's not as many homes available, so they don't have 1,000 different properties to go see, but that's not a bad thing. They're winning because they're getting the monthly payment that fits their budget. They're getting the out-of-pocket cost that fits their budget. They're getting properties that are repaired or newer items, meaning the roof's new or the heating and air conditioning is new, the water heaters are new, sellers are repairing or replacing mechanical, electrical, plumbing things that might be big ticket items for future homeowners, and they're getting their properties ready to make it more attractive to future home buyers. So buyers are definitely winning in today's market. How could you win in a competitive market? I think that you win in a competitive market by partnering with a lender that's able to speak intelligently to the listing agent about your offer. Sellers like to know who the lender is. They do not prefer to talk to an online lender. They do not prefer to talk to a big bank. They prefer to talk to somebody local, somebody who has a history of helping people, somebody who has a high value in the community. And so if you're dealing with a local lender, like the compactor, you are going to get more offers accepted and more offers reviewed because the seller and the listing agent are going to have the confidence because of what we convey. Now, we can't tell them everything about you, but we can tell them that we've done our homework, that we've got you pre-approved, that we reviewed your income and your assets. That's already been decisioned by underwriting, and that's squared away. That we don't have any financing contingencies, meaning that all we need to do is find a property for you to purchase, and that listing agent's going to sell their property. You know, we just need to get the appraisals, the title work, the insurance, just the things that are related to the property, and it's going to be a quick and smooth closing. And that's really what a seller or a listing agent want to hear. So your lender plays a big role in your offer, and I get told many times a month that,
Joel, you and your team are the reason why we accepted your buyer's offer.
And that gives a lot of confidence to me and my future homeowners and my realtor partners, because we are now an additional value add resource. You know, the name on that letter means something, and sellers and listing agents are looking somebody who's an authority in their community, somebody who can help to make sure that that loan does get across the finish line. And if there are issues that come up, there's somebody willing to step in and fix it and make it right, and not just put their head in the sand and just wonder what's going to happen. So if you like what you're hearing and you want to learn more about, you know, being a home buyer and what rates are going to do and how you can structure your offers, be sure to tune in, like, share, subscribe, and comment below.